Good morning, boys and girls. How are you doing? Here we are ready for another lesson. And this lesson is in our yellow egg. In the yellow egg, we find this. Can you see what it is? Yes, it's a cross. If you could see it really closely, let me see if I can get it over here. There. Can you see it? The cross is made of nails. Because when Jesus died, he died on a cross, but he was nailed to the cross. Carrying the cross was not easy. It was big and it was heavy. In the first grade book, I Meet Jesus, there we see Jesus carrying the cross. See how big it is? It was big enough for the person to be put on after they got where they were going. And Jesus had to carry it, and it was hard, it was heavy, he didn't feel good. He had been whipped. He had had the crown of thorns put on him. He had been beaten, and now he was forced to carry it all through the town. And we know that as Jesus carried the cross through the town, there were many people watching. Some were making fun of him. Some were sad. His mother Mary was there, and she was crying because her son, whom she loved so much, was being forced to carry that cross to the town, and she knew he was going to die on it. Some holy women came, and they wanted to help Jesus. One woman came up, and she took her scarf that was over her head, and she wiped the face of Jesus with it. And when she looked at her scarf later, on her scarf, Jesus had left his face. He fell a couple times because the cross was so heavy, but he kept on going. At one point, the soldiers were afraid that Jesus wouldn't be able to make it all the way to Golgotha, where he was going, and so they grabbed a man in the crowd by the name of Simon of Cyrene, and they made him help him carry it. We have to carry our crosses too. Not a great big wooden cross like Jesus carried, but when we have to do things we don't really like, we might say that's a cross. Right now, not being able to go to school, that's a cross. Not being able to go visit your friends, that's a cross. Not being able to go maybe to the park or to play games with other people, or to have big birthday parties. Those are little crosses that we have to carry. We have to show our love for Jesus and never stop doing the things that happen to us, and not to blame Jesus for them, but to try to just keep on going. You know, boys and girls, carrying the cross that we have is so little compared to what Jesus has. We're almost at Holy Week. This coming Sunday is Palm Sunday, and next week on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we celebrate the holiest days in the whole year. On Thursday, we remember how Jesus took bread and wine, prayed to his Father in heaven, blessed him, said, "This is my body, this is my blood. Take this, eat it. Take this, drink it." We remember on Friday how Jesus suffered and died on the cross, what we call the Passion. How he carried their cross and then was killed on the cross, was buried, and on Sunday we remember that on the third day he came back to life. He rose from the dead, and that will be our wonderful Easter Sunday. So, pre-K, You have nails. Yours is very simple. Kindergarten and first grade, you have a cross with some nails. And second grade, you have your reflection. What was in egg 7? And what does it remind you of? Work hard on it. Before we go today, let us pray for each other. Think of your family. Think of your classmates, boys and girls. For your classmates, let us pray to the Lord. For your mama and daddy and grandpa and grandma, for your friends, let us pray to the Lord. Whoever you're sitting next to while you're watching this class, give them a hug and say, I love you. I'll pray for you. For all the people, all the nurses, all the doctors, all the ambulance drivers, all the people who are taking care of the sick people, for them let us pray to the Lord. And let us pray for little Rosie, for Sawyer, and for Clark. For them let us pray to the Lord. Okay, boys and girls, I'll see you soon.